So I'd like to introduce you to Dipti Kothari Jain. So Dipti is the mentor and co-founder at Speaking Ninjas Academy and is also an award-winning public speaking coach and mentor. She helps children, teens, and adults think clearly, speak confidently, and respond fearlessly. She specializes in impromptu speaking and empowering learners to express themselves with authenticity in any situation. So today, joining us from Delhi in North India is Dipti, and she will be talking about love your brain when life goes off script. And I know we've always been in that situation. So life really goes to plan, and we know that. And that's often when our mind works against us the most. In this relatable and practical talk, Dipti explores how to truly love your brain, especially in moments of pressure and uncertainty. And through simple mental training and powerful mindset shifts, she shows us how to stay calm, think clearly, trust your instincts, and respond with confidence when it matters most. Because when you stop fighting your brain and start working with it, you don't just handle uncertainty better, but you begin to live with greater clarity, confidence, and control. So please give a very warm and loud in the room and on Zoom welcome to Dipti Kothari Jain. Over to you, Dipti.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much. Yes, with so many eyes on you, yes, we can feel the pressure. Is it or not? So back when I used to live in Bangalore, the Silicon Valley of India, I used to be this anxious, panic-stricken person. I would overthink, overplan, and overanalyze every situation, every event. You know why? Because I hated uncertainties. I just wanted everything to be perfect in my control. But then, life being life, always had a plan of its own. And most often than not, I found myself at the crossroads of uncertainty, wondering why does this happen to me always? And that led to anxiety, fear, stress, and anger. So next time, I tried even harder. I planned even more and more until I was on the brink of mental exhaustion because no amount of planning was just enough to avoid the uncertainties of life. And that was frustrating. And it started taking a toll on my mental health. Any of you here who felt this pinch of mental stress when things don't go as per your plan? In fact, as per research, uncertainty is one of the major contributors of stress in mental health challenges. Interestingly, a few years back when I moved to Delhi, I happened to attend a Toastmasters meeting and I was awestruck. How is this even possible? People attempting random, unpredictable topics with such calm and composure, no panic, no anxiety, no stress. It was as if the purest form of brain love. And that is when it hit me. What if we've been going about this all wrong? What if instead of fearing and over planning to avoid uncertainties, we started training our brain to handle uncertainties? Wait, I know what you're thinking. Dipti, is this even possible? How can you train for something when you don't even know what is going to come your way? Is it or not? Well, in my talk today, I'm going to be sharing 4 powerful ways to love your brain. And I promise you, one of them is going to change the way you think about thinking. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Our brain, as you know, is one of the most fascinating organs in the world. Brilliant at solving even the most complex of problems. However, our brain has quiet preferences. It loves structure, predictability, control. Chaos and uncertainty panics it. So when something suddenly goes off script, like someone criticizes you publicly, or your spouse says something triggering, or your colleague questions your credibility, your brain panics, your heart races, your stomach churns, and fear sets in. But hey, don't worry. There is nothing wrong with you. It is just biology. Our brain is ancient. It is designed and wired by a 200,000-year-old operating system. It is wired to detect threats and to protect you. And anything uncertain or out of the way starts feeling like threat. So it panics. Now, for the first powerful way to love your brain is to give it a moment to respond, not react. Reaction is like instinct, response is leadership. And as someone who trains people globally to think on their feet, the one tool I have seen work every time is the 2-second power move. PBR. Pause, breathe, and respond. Pause. When you pause, your brain calms down. Breathe. When you breathe, it tells your brain all is well. There is no threat and no danger. And that shifts the control from your emotional center of your brain back to your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain. And now, when you respond, you sound more composed. Not because you're smarter now, but because you're more regulated. So, next time life surprises you with a tough question or a sudden problem or a stressful situation, just take a moment and pause and say, give me a moment, let me think. And this one sentence is a game changer because it slows everything down, calms your mind, and gives control back to you. Because in life, we don't need to react fast, we need to respond calmly. All right? Now, for the second powerful way to love your brain is to feed it. Not just Sudoku, puzzles, and walnuts, but to feed it new quality experiences. You see, our brain is like a giant library. Every story we hear, every conversation we have, every book we read, or a place we visit gets stored somewhere inside our brain. And then life, being life, throws a sudden challenge. Your brain quietly walks into that library and starts looking for ideas on how to handle this challenge from what it already knows. So, if your experiences are limited, your response will also be limited. Is it or not? So, the second powerful way to love your brain is to give it one new input every day. Maybe read a story or listen to a podcast by Logan Paul or Raj Shamani, or maybe travel to a new country, explore a new culture. For a matter of fact, take a stage at the speakeasy events. Every experience is like a book stored in your brain library. And if you want better responses, you have to give it better experiences. So, loving your brain means to stay curious. And someday, when life decides to go off script, instead of panicking, your brain would say, hey, wait, I've seen something like that. I can handle it. Is it or not? Now, for the third powerful way to love your brain is something we rarely do. Trust our brain. We doubt our brains far too much. What if I fail? What if I mess this up? What if I don't know what to do in that moment? But think about it. Our brain has always been there for us. Is it or not? Just pause and think. Has my brain handled difficult situations before? Because if you think about it, your brain has helped you survive every challenge from the day you were born. It has carried you through exams you thought you would fail, interviews you thought you would tank, and situations you thought you could never survive. It has carried you through heartbreaks, stored countless memories, and created fascinating dreams and opportunities for you. Your brain has always showed up for you. Your brain has always figured something out. Maybe not perfectly, but perfectly enough for you to move forward. So, next time life surprises you, instead of panicking, try trusting your brain and say, "Come, let's see what my fascinating brain comes up with." And now it's time for the fourth and the most powerful way to love your brain. Train it for uncertainty. Okay, I'm not able to switch on my video, Alan. You have to allow me. Okay, you see what I mean? Uncertainty is life's favorite topic. You come prepared thinking you will speak at a speakeasy events only to be faced by a total technical glitch. Or maybe on your way to an important meeting, you land up with a coffee stain on your dress. Or just on your way back home when you're tired, your child decides to throw a tantrum. You wake up thinking it's going to be a normal day, and then life happens. And in those pressure moments, let's be honest, can you expect calmness under pressure when you have never trained your brain to perform under pressure? No, right? So, what can we do? We need to train our brain to perform under pressure. We have to train our brain by stepping into situations where we have to react or respond to unpredictable situations in real time. Something like the simulation training airplane pilots and paramilitary goes through. You get what I'm saying? And the best tool for this is something I really love to do: impromptu speaking. And Toastmasters in the house, raise your hand. What do we love to call it? Table topics. See, just think about it. In table topics, you're given one random, unpredictable topic. No scripts, no warnings, no prep time. Just you and your brain and few seconds to respond. Now, this is where it gets interesting. That is exactly how it happens in life. But this is not just about speaking. This is about training your brain to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly in uncertainties, and most importantly, to respond, not react. And you know why this always works? Because of something called as neuroplasticity. How many of you know what is neuroplasticity? See, this is how it works. Every time you choose to speak despite fear, every time you choose to organize a thought under pressure or survive a challenging situation, your brain rewires. Your brain becomes stronger, more confident, and more adaptable. And here's the twist. Slowly, something interesting happens, something unexpected. Uncertainties stop feeling scary and starts feeling manageable, because now your brain knows something powerful. I can handle it. So, in the end, to sum it up, maybe loving your brain is not about controlling it or making it perfect. Maybe loving your brain is pausing with it, feeding it, trusting it, and most importantly, training it. Because life being life, is always going to keep throwing unexpected, unpredictable, uncertain moments. Questions are not going to come with warnings. Challenges are not going to send calendar invites. However, if you have a strong relationship of trust with your brain and you have trained your brain to handle uncertainties, then there is no moment in life you cannot handle because your brain knows something powerful now. I can handle it. Can you or not? Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dipti, and thank you for that organized technical glitch. That wasn't me, that was planned, just to be clear. And you handled it beautifully. It's almost as if you were expecting it to happen. Really nicely done.